Thanks, Rob, for taking the opportunity to meet with us and work with us in terms of where are they now. It's a section that we have on southingtonsports.com. And I know that you've been heavily involved now with the Southington football program for the last 2 years as a coach. And what we'd like to do is maybe reflect a little bit on your experience. Obviously, you played at Southington High School, and talk a little bit about that, and then talk about your experience. I know you played at Syracuse University, and then you went on to become, you were involved with the New England Patriots for a while, and then talk a little bit about your coaching. So if you'd like to begin, maybe talk a little bit about your experience as a Blue Knight.
I have fond memories of playing football at Southington High School and in a couple other sports as well. Football was always my main sport, and I had the pleasure of playing with Don D'Angelo, a longtime Southington coach, and really instilled in us the history of Southington football and all the pride that everyone's tried to pass down from generation to generation, which really added for a real good experience. I was fortunate enough too. I had older brothers that played. I had one older brother who was a captain at Southington High School as well, that played football up in New Hampshire as well.
That's great.
So they have those traditions too, family traditions as well. So
that's great. I know that's something that with Coach Drury now we really try to really bring back, and like yourself, and bring back Mike Forgione, some of the former Southington football players and Blue Knights who have that, what you talk about, that tradition, that history, that culture, that pride that I think Coach Drury is trying to instill. But I know from the Blue Knights you went on to Syracuse University, and you might want to talk about that.
It was a really fun time up at Syracuse. Our program, just like Southington, Syracuse has great traditions too, with Jim Brown and Floyd Little and all the great players that have played there. And I kind of got there at a really good time when the program was really just up and coming. And we were fortunate enough to go to 4 bowl games, one of which we finished undefeated and tied in the Sugar Bowl and finished 3rd in the country.
What year was that?
87.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And then, but we went to a lot of really nice bowls. I was captain my senior year. It was just a real good experience, and life, just like Southington High School, I have lifelong friendships from there.
That's excellent. What position did you play?
I was a free safety. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So I was a quarterback at Southington High School and a defensive back.
Good.
So I was a quarterback for around 3 days up there. But I was more of a defensive player.
Good.
Yeah.
And then you went on to, you were drafted or selected by the New England Patriots for a little while?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to play in a couple of senior all-star games, the East-West Shrine game, the Japan Bowl. Then from there, went to the Patriots. Unfortunately, got cut at the end of training camp, but that was a really good,
great experience.
And they were fairly strong at the position that I was in. Fred Marion, a longtime All-Pro with the Patriots, was still kind of during his career there. But from there, went into the work world, but I kept football part of my life. I coached at the University of New Haven, coached their defensive backs for 2 years.
With the blue turf?
Before the blue turf.
All right.
This was in the early 90s. We were fortunate. We actually went undefeated both the regular seasons and made pretty good runs in the playoffs. Mark Whipple was the head coach there.
I remember Mark Whipple,
that's great. And so we had a lot of success, had some good defenses there as well.
Good.
Good. Then from there, Mark Whipple went on to Brown University, and I had an opportunity to go coach in college, but I had a career starting here in Connecticut, and but I wanted to stay involved with football, so I became the head football coach at Bristol Central High School.
Tremendous. Okay. And I know you had good success there as well.
Yeah, and our last 3 years, I think we lost 4 games.
Good.
Yeah, and Mike Drury was actually one of my captains.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
When I was there, and other people involved with the administration. Brian Straneri, who's the vice principal at Southington High School, who actually coached me under Don D'Angelo, who was offensive coordinator, became one of my assistants, which was kind of nice.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
So we had some good experience.
Well, it's great to have you back in Southington working with the football program. I think this past season we had great success. And what specifically was your role with the football program this past year?
Defensive coordinator.
Good. And you were up in the booth?
Yeah, up in the booth. And Mike being the head coach, we've known each other for a number of years, so he's always been on the defensive side of the ball, so we worked really well together.
That's good.
And so we had really good chemistry, and we changed up some of the type of schemes that we did this year to become a little bit more of an attacking 3-3-5 blitzing type team that we had some good success with.
And what was the highlight, you think, from this past season for you?
For me, it was just kind of a reunion, because this was the first year I was really back into it, and just being around everybody, you could coach at different places and things like that, but when you coach at home,
right,
you know the people, you know all the kids that are coming up, and just it was kind of fun for me to see them have success.
Good.
And I have my own son on the team as well.
Well, that's nice. That'd be good. Well, I enjoy working with you, and thanks for taking the time to meet with us. Great. Thank you.
All net with that one. Base hit, left field. Checked him against the glass. First down, Southington. What a shot, upper left corner.
Southington Sports Fever.